Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we continue my first what if of what if Pan was born instead of Gohan. Before we get started, I hope you subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon to be informed of any future what ifs. If we hit the like goal of 35 likes, I will start making the next part, and if you have any what if suggestions for me, write down in the comments, and if I see enough interest, I'll do it. Now, let's continue this story. After the defeat of Frieza, the Earthlings have returned to Earth, and after some time, using the Namekian Dragon Balls, they were able to revive Yamcha and the others. After that was done, everyone came back to their normal lives. Now if you're asking if King Cold will arrive, well, it will take him some time to find Earth since Frieza was actually killed, so Cold will take some time until he realizes what actually happened to Frieza, but he will find Earth eventually. But back at Earth, Vegeta continues his training and tries to unlock the Super Saiyan transformation, just like Goku did back on Namek. He gets with Bulma like the original and eventually has a kid, which they name Trunks. But after years, tragedy strikes as Goku dies of a heart virus. Everyone is devastated by the loss, especially Pan and Chi-Chi, but they have to move on, and peace remains for a long time. Until one day, an island 9 miles southwest of South City was attacked. The fighters decide to check it out. Pan wants to go with them, but Piccolo tells her to stay back just in case, and maybe this is just a false alarm. As he flies away, when the fighters arrive, they see two teenagers destroying buildings, and for some reason they can't sense any ki. The teenagers look at the fighters and smirk, and start rushing towards them. Everyone's on the defensive, and then they begin to fight. Surprisingly, these two teenagers are insanely powerful, stronger than everyone else. Piccolo transforms into his ultimate form, and Vegeta transforms into his new Super Saiyan transformation. Piccolo is a good match for 17, but Vegeta is not even close to 18, so the humans decide to try to help Vegeta as much as they can, while Piccolo holds down 17, hoping Vegeta and the others can beat her and then join him. But even with the humans and Vegeta together, they were nowhere close to 18's level. At first, 18 was entertained, but eventually she got annoyed, so she stops playing around and kills Vegeta on the spot. Every human was shocked, but before they can react, 18 teleports behind Yamcha and puts a hole in his chest. She does the same with the other fighters. Piccolo looks in complete shock and anger. Everyone is dying, but he has no opening to go to and help since 17 continues attacking him. And when 18 kills the final human fighter, Krillin, she joins forces with 17, and the two begin to overpower Piccolo, and eventually kills him too. On the lookout, Kami senses his doom approaching. He's worried about the fate of the Earth. In his last moments, he looks at Earth, and he sees Pan flying towards the city, since she began feeling that everyone's power levels were beginning to die down. That little girl is the Earth's last hope. Kami wishes her luck as he fades away from existence. Pan arrives at the city, seeing the entire place is in ruins. She looks around and sees all the humans and Vegeta having holes in their stomach, most definitely dead. She begins to tear up and can't believe what is happening. Eventually, after looking around, she finds Piccolo on the ground, but without a pulse. She can't believe it. She first lost her father, and now her mentor is dead too. She cries and screams to the heavens, with a golden aura beginning to surround her, and after one final yell, the golden glow of the Super Saiyan envelops the entire city. Years pass as Pan continues her training, hoping one day she can eventually surpass and defeat the androids. Due to Piccolo's death, she has finally awakened the Super Saiyan transformation. Over the years, she was able to put a very good match for the androids. She even went to the hyperbolic time chamber, remembering how she and Piccolo went there a bit. She used the remaining time in there to get as strong as possible, but despite getting great gains with her training, without a sparring partner, she wasn't able to prove as much as she could have. But fighting the androids, she's stronger than 18 and about even with 17, but she could never defeat them when they team up. But hope arrives in Trunks, the son of Vegeta. When he eventually grows up, Pan begins training Trunks, hoping that maybe if he becomes a Super Saiyan, the two of them together could maybe defeat the androids. Her training is strict, but nothing intense, since with the limited sensu beams, they can't train recklessly. While she's focused on Trunks, she trains herself in her free time. She even uses the gravity chamber, which Vegeta used before his demise. One day, while the two are sparring outside, they hear another explosion in the city. Pan obviously is ready to check it out, but Trunks insists to come along. Pan tells him it's too dangerous, but Trunks remarks with all his training, he can handle it. She looks at Trunks, sees determination in his eyes. She decides to let him come along, as both fly off towards the city. When they arrive, they find the androids destroying multiple buildings of the city. Two androids spot them and begin to chuckle. Oh, Pan finally came back. It's been a couple of weeks since their last fight. It was getting quite boring for them, so they decide to destroy the city to lure her out. Pan is angered by that comment. Using innocent life just to lure her out pisses her off. He transforms into a Super Saiyan and launches at 18, beginning to fight her, and Pan having the clear advantage. Pan is aiming for the kill right away, wanting to make sure she dies before 17 can jump in. Sadly, she does not make it in time, as when she's ready to do the finishing blow, then he kicks her in the gut, sending her flying through several buildings. She gets back up and sees the two androids in their fighting position. She curses herself, as now the fight is back to the android's advantage, because even though she's even with 17 and stronger than 18, together they're way too much for even her. Trunks decides to jump in, fighting Masenko at 18, which barely phases her. 18 begins fighting Trunks, asking who he is and if he's related to Pan or something. Trunks doesn't answer and tries his best to at least land a blow, but he's way too slow, as she dodges his attacks pretty casually. And when she gets bored, 18 sends Trunks flying with a ki blast. Pan sees this, but she can sense that Trunks is still alive. She continues fighting 18 and firing a Kamehameha right at him, but 17 uses his barriers and defends against the attack. Pan begins to pant. She's beginning to lose ground since Super Saiyan takes a lot of stamina, and androids have infinite stamina, so she's gradually getting weaker and weaker by the minute, until eventually she falls out of the Super Saiyan transformation. 17 says that it was a fun match, but it's over. From all those fights, they can tell she is nearing their level, and if she lived any longer, she could eventually surpass him. As 17 is ready to kill her and says her that they will let the other kid live since they want some kind of entertainment on this planet. As they were ready for a ki blast, Trunks quickly fires a Masenko to the ground, making a massive smoke screen that blinds the two androids, and when the androids regain their vision, they see Pan and Trunks had disappeared. They're a bit angry, but not by much. They'll return one day, and next time they'll be ready. For some reason she can't beat him, as they fly off to another city. Back to the duo, Trunks carries Pan back to Capsule Corp, and Bulma begins to treat Pan. Pan is still angry with herself. She knows she has the potential to beat the androids, then she realizes the reason. She's always losing to 17 and 18 is that they have infinite stamina, while Super Saiyan takes away her stamina, so maybe there's a way to train to make sure Super Saiyan doesn't take any stamina. She keeps that in mind as she stays in bed for a while since they got pretty banged up. Trunks was hurt too, but not by much. When they are healed, they return right back to training. Pan even got a slight Zenkai boost, not a strong one, but it's still something. They continue to train. Pan knows the next time she tries to fight the androids, she'll probably die since the androids have noticed her increase in power, so they might just aim it for her and try to kill her. She decides that they need to push training into high gear and begins to go rough on Trunks. She wants to push the Super Saiyan out of him. It takes a while and sometimes it's a bit too much, but after constantly reminding that he's this world's last hope, and if he does nothing, she, his mother, and this planet will die. With the mention of his mother, Trunks finally snaps and awakens the Super Saiyan transformation and delivers a solid punch to Pan's face, with her smirking. Finally, Trunks was able to unlock the Super Saiyan. Of course, it still takes some time for Trunks to get used to it, but eventually he's able to go Super Saiyan on command, while Pan does her separate training, meditating most of the time. She tries to stay in her Super Saiyan transformation for as long as she could, trying to make it so to feel it like it's her base form. And when they finish their training, she's able to get a very good grasp on it, and now, while using it, does not lose too much stamina, but she needs full concentration to make sure she doesn't lose too much of her stamina. This isn't Super Saiyan Grade 4 like Goku and Gohan got in the Cell Saga, but it's very close to it, and with the power boost of semi-mastering the Super Saiyan, she is actually stronger than 17. Now she's confident. If she and Trunks use the right strategy, they might be able to win. When they are fully rested, before they leave, Pan tells Trunks that if they fail and it looks like they're on the back foot, he needs to escape. Trunks obviously wants to decline, but he nods to his sensei. They fly off, and it doesn't take a while to find the android since they continuously destroy cities. They land in front of the androids, and the androids are happy that they finally arrived. They inform her that she's going to die today because she's getting a bit too powerful for their own liking. If they allow her to live any longer, she might actually cause them some trouble. But they tell her not to worry about Trunks since the kid will live, they need some kind of entertainment, and they know that he's way below them. Pan smirks and asks them to try it. Both Pan and Trunks transform into Super Saiyan. This catches the androids by surprise because they didn't expect the other kid to transform into a Super Saiyan, but no matter, he's definitely still not as strong as Pan. Using the androids' arrogance, they decide to enact their plan. Both use a solar flare to blind the androids. Pan and Trunks begin to rush 17 and bury him under some rubble, stunning him for quite a while, whilst 18, trying to regain her vision, is bombarded by attacks from Pan and Trunks. Together, they're able to damage her severely and easily overpowering her, and with a combined ki blast, they're able to kill 18 even before 17 can come back to the fight. Of course, 17 eventually comes out of the rubble and wondering where his sister has gone, but he has no time to question it as the two Saiyans begin attacking. He causes a bit more trouble since 17 is stronger, but not by much. Pan already being a bit above 17 and using their great synergy, strategy and technique, they're able to overpower 17 and eventually kill him with a combined Masenko. They continue to firing the beam so they can make sure he is actually dead. They're amazed, and after the second, they hug each other and start crying. They finally did it. After so much suffering, they defeated the android threat. The duo returns back to Bulma and inform her of the good news. They have a huge feast of celebration of finally defeating the android menace. Bulma informs them that she has been planning on a time machine as just a precaution, but now everyone's wondering if it's still worth it. They defeated the androids, and maybe after a little bit of time, they may be able to make a spaceship to find new Namek. Side note, I forgot to mention, after the Namek saga, the Namekians used also their Dragon Balls to reinstall their planets somewhere else, so to make sure none of the remaining Frieza forces find them. But the time machine also sounds good. If they prevent the androids from activating, they can save everyone, maybe even save Goku, since they have the medication for the Hyrule virus. They don't know. What should they do? But that's where we leave off this part of What If Pan Was Born Instead of Gohan. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you have any what if suggestions for me, write down in a comment. And if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. And if this video reaches 35 likes, I'll make the next part. And I'll see you guys in my next video.